Hey everyone, it's been a minute. Um, so I haven't posted a video in a while, I haven't done a tutorial in a while, mainly because I haven't bought anything in a while. So um, after a while of not getting out and off-roading and doing other things, just life in general, I finally did last year. And I know what you're thinking after you hear about this, but yeah, it's taken me a year to get around to doing this because life. So anyways, last year in March, had a good off-roading weekend up at Windrock Park with some friends, but did some crazy stupid trails, and I totally KO'd my taillights. I'm talking, I've got them holding on with zip ties right now, and the other one is just barely hanging on. So I finally went ahead and pulled the trigger after looking at several different flush mount options. I pulled the trigger and went with MOTOBILT's kit. I've got some pictures I'll put behind everything, but I'll give you a quick look around. You have to pardon the camera. It's broke too. I dropped my phone. So there's the MOTOBILT stuff. There's the kit. So it comes bare steel. So I'm gonna paint it. And I do have the Rubicon dash in my Sport because I thought it looked a lot cooler than just the plain old Jane gray garbage, but personal preference. So I'm gonna paint it to kind of match the dash. Might be close. It won't be Rubicon red, but it'll be close. Some tips for you here. What you'll need to do, we're gonna obviously put it together after we disassemble everything, but first we gotta prep the steel because it has preservative oils on it, which would cause the paint not to stick. So what you wanna do is get you some good old paper towels or shop towels, whatever you want. I'm using this dropped cloth because I don't have any like readily big pieces of cardboard available, and it keeps my garage, there's the Jeep, keeps my garage from getting paint all over it. And then next, you'll want some mineral spirits. All that stuff does, it just cleans really good. At least this one, it thins paints, cleans, brushes, equipment, paint splatters, whatever. I've used it before and it cleans metal really good. It gets all that preservative oil off of it and a lot of the brake, well, not brake dust, but the metal dust from the cutting. So whenever you metal work, you wind up having like gosh, I keep saying brake dust. I'm sorry, it's like brake dust, but it's metal dust. It's where the shavings fly off there. And yes, it makes dust too. So I'm gonna put all this together and I'm gonna try to give you a good explanation on how to put this together, since I haven't found anything, and there's only one other person I've seen online even put them together, and that was just kind of like, okay, here you go. I'm gonna see what it all entails and see if it's worth, at least try doing one side on video, the other side try to fly through it. So anyways, I'm gonna paint these. So there's the red. It looks a lot darker on the camera, but it's not too bad. And I'm gonna prime it, especially for the parts inside that aren't gonna see the sunlight, but can probably still get moisture. Paint and primer stuff. If it's bare steel, it's gonna rust. Paint and prime, take the time, do it right. All right. So here's just an example of what I was referring to. Here's a piece. It comes in several different pieces that you got to put together, but it's all good. MOTOBILT's instructions are on their website. You can find them there. They don't send you any, but you can download them. If you have an iPhone, you can pretty much pull them right off the web onto your phone. Android, I'm sure you can do the same thing, but I use iPhone. So So case in point, these, you see all that shiny, that is preservative oil. Napkins. Napkins. Get you a little healthy dose here. Ugh, don't drop it on your feet like I just did. If you're a klutz like I am, reseal everything. So, case in point. Ugh. So it's not too bad. It's pretty clean steel, but it's got that oil on there and it won't let the paint sit. So shiny. Just kind of, see, there we go. There's that dust I was talking about right there. A lot of that is just from where they cut the steel. These are laser cut probably, or milled, or CNC'd. Probably CNC machine. But see, as you wipe it off, it tends to get cleaner. So, and that one's done. Okay, well, still a little wet. Get yourself another paper towel. I'm gonna go through a lot of paper towels doing this, just to keep them dry. So. There you go. And after wiping it off, it's already drying up. So that's what we want right there. We want a nice, clean, dry surface in order to do this with. And see, barely anything. Move that over. We're gonna wipe down another one. You can use shop rags, shop towels, whatever you got. I went with paper towels simply because I know I was going to go through a lot of them, and I've, done this before to where you wind up spending a lot of time wiping these things down and cleaning them, and then after, when you're wiping them down and cleaning them multiple times, blah blah blah, the shop rag you wind up using turns into an oil rag. So. Not to say I won't still get it clean, but it's a better option just to get something that you can use clean over and over versus I'm getting stickers out of the way. Gotta love those. And this kit, I went to my local off-road shop, Rock Your 4x4. Been dealing with these guys for a long time, and this kit was out the door under $300, and it replaces the stock bull crap taillights that are on Jeep JLs. But check that out. Nice bright 4-inch LED with a rubber grommet. You got your stop lights, turn signal, backup lights. Pretty. And just continue to wipe this down. Clean. Move on to the next piece. So that's your dry cloth, wet cloth. Let's get you a little couple dabs. It's like the dentist always said, a little dab will do it. I'm not gonna sit here and film this whole thing, but I just want you guys to get the idea that it's not hard. It's a little time consuming, yes, but it's worth it whenever you go to apply that primer and apply the when you apply your primer and you apply your paint, and it actually adheres and doesn't bubble and slides everywhere and doesn't cure right, because whatever. See? Clean. Alright. I'll probably give you a rundown of what I'm doing for the, painting process. But if you've painted before, cool. If not, this is why I like doing these videos, because I learned a lot from other YouTubers. And yeah, my channel's not massive, but somebody watches it. Learn something. That's all I'm trying to do. Alright, so like I was saying, drop cloth. I've cleaned all the parts with mineral spirits, laid them out. And sorry I was fiddling with my camera, but now I'm just gonna prime them, and then I'm gonna paint the parts. These parts, I believe those, and definitely those. Everything back here goes inside the Jeep. These are your structural parts. So those will be painted the color to match what I'm trying to get. And then these will be just primed. So that's kind of like the color I'm trying to match. Yes, the Jeep is dirty, it's filthy, hoorah. Fun times. Okay, today, guys, we are going to move on. We got everything painted up real nice. And we're going to start. If you have a Jeep JL, it comes with this nice little handy dandy kit that I can't open with one hand. Okay, see? Nice little ratchet, Torx bits. Instructions on how to remove your soft top. Every little bit you might need for this entire Jeep is right here. Take your windshield down, random screws, more random screws, and this nice little handy dandy Jeep ratchet. So you need to find that first. What we're gonna do, this is a busted taillight. This one's hanging on by a thread, hoping and prayer. So first of all, what we're gonna do, you'll find this little latch right here, and I'll show you how to remove that. Pardon the camera. So check that out. Nice and red. A little workbench, as my grandpa likes to call it, bench. There's the paint I used, Rust-Oleum. Got a primer. That's a future project. That's going to be an onboard air. That's the Thor Lightning. And it's supposed to be better than the ARB compressor. We will tell. We will find out. So, got my tools and everything I could possibly ever need right there. So, right now we need this. I'm your Huckleberry. Alright, so you're going to find this little part right here. Pop it off. Like so. I also have a trim panel tool. I don't know why I ain't using. I believe it's this one right here, but got a little right there. Yep, that's it. So just unscrew that, and that tail light will pop right off. Be right back. And as you can see, it's out. And now this is literally ready to fall off. This is one I KO'd on a trail up at Windrock. That was a fun day. However, it was a blast. Actually, yeah, not literally, of course, but fixing that on the trail. That is a good certified trail fix right there. Zip ties and a hope and a prayer. We're gonna remove this. I'm gonna grab some cutters. Some cutters. I've lost all my tools throughout moving, but a knife would also, help that I have inside my semi truck. And you see, one down. I wasn't kidding. And goodbye, hope and a prayer. There we go. Okay, so on your application, hopefully you would just unscrew that bolt. You would actually unscrew the bolts. Then bolts there, and then this thing would be removed easily. So yeah, I'm actually gonna harvest this wire harness and reuse it for the wiring. So it'll be basically plug and play. I'm not sure if I'm gonna show that or not, but I'm gonna try to. So I'm gonna remove this harness right here. Can't do it one-handed probably, but it's got a little red clip. Requires someone with a lot more strength than I do. Check that out. Multiple tool. Give me for 1 second. Doing this by myself currently. Got some help coming over. Oh, see. I'll try to edit this out. Okay, cool. That works. Until it did. There we go. Once you remove that, discard old piece. So our old piece is coming over here to be salvaged for parts. And we'll get back to you whenever we're ready to start this process. All right, now that you've gotten everything else removed from the Jeep, here's the wiring. So I opted to reuse the factory connectors so we get a plug and play setup. These, I don't know how much light you can see, but I'm gonna try. These go to your new marker lights that come with the kit. And if you look at the wires, the colors, you can clearly see these are for the halogens going to LEDs. I had halogens on mine and upgraded to LEDs, so these wires will be different colors, but if you look at the main harness, not the part that connects, not this part, but look at if you look at the wires that connect to this connector on the Jeep side, it will tell you which wires are which. And then we obviously we went ahead, it's a nice light. We went ahead and just hooked up the wiring harness to the connectors and went through the brakes, the reverse, tail lights, signals, and we got positive results. So here are the new marker lights. We're opting just to run them as markers. So instead of turn signals as well, because this is bright enough. But so we just jumped them. And that's how we did it for both of them. Black with black, red with red. And of course, that's on this black wire to that black wire, this red to this, and this red. So we're gonna plug them in, and it worked. So we got it to work. All right, so onward to the next stage. This is a 3/16 drill bit. And per the instructions on MOTOBILT, you are to take this bracket. You're going to see how it's edged right here. You're going to line it up in here, which I already have. You can see my holes. Ooh. So I lined this up, kind of drilled a little divot, and then I had my mark. So try to line that up as best you can. The way I did it was I just held it and just kind of drilled on it a little bit until I had a good mark. So there we're at right now, and we're going to install this, and then we'll install this, and we'll get to the rest of it. Just a little tip, put a piece of tape behind this end wrench to hold the nut. It does take an Allen, but I'm cheating using my drill. Yeehaw. Okay, so what we're gonna do now, we've installed this piece through here, and if you're like me, hopefully you're not, I had some body damage that I apparently wasn't aware of. It's fine. It's very thin metal, so you just sandwich this in between here. Put these two nuts in, or bolts. Put these two bolts in, tighten them down, and we're gonna drill with a 7/32 bit right through here, making a hole on the rear end side, and we'll take and put a nut and bolt in here, and then remove these two, and continue on. Okay, so now that I've got all this loosely installed, you just put the, gosh, can't hardly see with no light. You got this, the main plate. You got the marker light plate, and then you got the face plate. So you got to put all three of these on together. So my suggestion was to get this piece on, okay, go ahead and put the nuts in, or bolts in right here. Get these lined up. Then take these back out, put the faceplate on, and run these in, run those in. And that right there, other than plugging up the lights to show the finished product, now that's definitely not gonna hit any trees. Woo! Finished product of the light install. Left signal, right signal, brake lights, and reverse. Bright. Cool. And we got our marker lights running too. Nice.